Hello, everybody. Welcome in. How y'all doing? Boy. So, already I have some stuff to talk about. Boy. Firstly, I did not realize how bad I've been about being consistent lately. I keep thinking I'm only taking one day off, and then that's like apparently I've been skipping a lot more days than I thought. Because I looked at the calendar and today is Friday. And I've only streamed once this week, and that does not seem, that is so out of bad for me. The why? Uh, hello, hi Archangel, hi Mercury, hi Mac, hi Shogi, hi Coco. Um, been very little Celvion recently. Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know. I've kind of been burnt out, and the funny part is it's not even from streaming. It's actually from work, like my day job. Because my day job requires me to stay up all night, every night. And I think that's actually like really been starting to get to me. So, yeah. And then I've been having some IRL stuff because like, for example, my car is kind of messed up and I've been having people come by. I've been having Dadvion come over a lot trying to fix my car so I don't have to take it to a shop. So then it's just been like, you know, I can't stream on those days. And then I also have to prep a bunch of, I've also been trying to prep a couple Let's Plays for while I'm gone for TwitchCon. And so sometimes I'll actually just be like, all right, not going to stream today because I'm going to work on that. And then I looked at this week and I've done that twice this week. And then I had a day, like I did that on Monday and Wednesday. But then I, like where I'm like, all right, I'm going to take tonight off and I'm going to work on recording stuff for TwitchCon. And then then I took off Tuesday to work on my car with Dadvion. So then it's like, oh, I didn't stream until Thursday. So I am really sorry. I do promise that this little like phase of little Cell will be over and we'll get back to like pretty consistent Cell again at some point really soon. And you know, yeah, it's just kind of been that way for a little bit. But on the bright side, I do have about half of all of my I do have about half of all of my TwitchCons like pre-make stuff done. I have two of the videos that I've been planning. They are recorded, edited, and uploaded, ready to come out when I'm gone. And I have to sit down and I have to record the remainder of this game. So, because basically you're going to have a Let's Play of a whole game just come out I think probably every other day while I'm gone. So there'll never be more than a single day without Cell. And also, I have set it up so that I can record TikToks and stuff like that on my phone while I'm there. So theoretically, I can give you guys updates on what's going on at TwitchCon. So that's not like you know what I mean? It won't be like a completely whatever. Doing the Miku event in Crossworlds. Ooh, I really want to get that. But yeah, so sorry about the lack of streams. I did have some other piece of news. Because of the recent price hike on Xbox, I canceled my Game Pass subscription. Just because, like, I don't want to pay double for basic features. So I don't, like, just the deal just doesn't sound good anymore. All of it. I don't like that they're, like, doubling the price. Yeah, so, I went and canceled it, but that was how I was playing Hollow Knight. which is what I would have played today, probably. A lot of people did. It crashed the website. Yeah, I can imagine. Like, that's the funny part about all these big companies with all these like things like that. They don't realize that they are the like, especially with the entertainment companies, they act like we're the whole. Okay, so I had this like sold to me as, when it comes to certain companies like that, you are the product for them, because they're also kind of selling you advertisement and all this stuff for games, right? Oh, no, my membership ended yesterday. I canceled it the day before yesterday. I caught it right before it renewed, so yeah. But anyway, so but yeah, they kind of treat you like you're the product to advertise stuff to, and then they charge like you're like, and but the thing is they don't realize that they are the treat people are like spending their little bit of extra money on. So like you raise the price and people cut, that's like the first thing they cut out. And it's the same with a lot of other things. But a lot of these like streaming services or things like YouTube and whatever, they treat the viewers like they're the product, which they kind of are from a business standpoint. But the thing is that it's just like, that's not, you know what I mean? It's like, that's not, you make it too inconvenient or too problematic or too awful for like people to use your thing, and then people will stop using the thing and they act like they're entitled to it. You know what do you know what I'm saying? I watched a whole bunch of stuff where people were talking about that. Yeah. So really, I think things like I feel like things that are like entertainment, they don't need to go up in price. You should, I think realistically, in like a bad time, they should stay the same price so that people will continue to, so people will not cut them because they're already used to paying it. Realistically, if they're going to raise their price, they should do it when like the economy is good. Not to talk about the economy, but you know what I'm saying though, right? Like, because I know a lot of people, I don't know how much people even care about me talking about stuff like that or want me to hear me talk about stuff like that. Because like, I don't know. Part of me is like, I figure people probably would rather hear me talk about fun stuff and be here for fun things. But cable is becoming cheaper now. Oh my God. Like, okay, so Mom Vian still loves to watch live TV. And last time I went to her house and clicked on live TV, I was kind of just thinking, oh, it'll be like when I'm a kid again, right? I'll pop on, just throw on some like Adult Swim or something, and while I'm hanging out and whatever, right? So, but I hopped on and almost everything is paid programming commercials. They still have almost all the same channels that they had when I was growing up. But like almost all of it is not actually showing any content anymore. It's all paid programming. It's all like infomercials. Like more than half of all like I would say like 60-70% of all TV stations are just permanent commercials now. And I'm like, what's the point? Close your channel down. If that is all that you can show, then you don't have a channel. Turn it off. At least throw on some reruns or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get not making enough money to make new shows, but like, reruns. If I'm paying and still getting ads, you have a bad business model. You know, I am both with you and kind of against, because like at the same time, like, I think there should always be a way to pay to not have ads. Like with live TV, they have to have, they let you record it. Like that was always the thing with live TV, or maybe not always the thing, but that was the trade-off with live TV later on. They had to show the commercials. So the thing, you could just pay a little bit more than the basic package, and you could have the recorded TV where it records everything and you can just watch stuff a little bit later than everybody else, even if it's like 30 minutes to an hour, and you could watch it then. You know what I mean? You watch it without commercials, just fast forward through them. Or you could pause while you go like make a sandwich or something, and you didn't actually have to watch the commercials. But you know, the thing is that the ads do pay for content getting made. But the thing is that makes a lot more sense on like a studio side than it does for like the streaming side. And realistically, I don't hate commercials just for the simple fact of like, I know how TV works. Like, I know that that is a big part of how a lot of like money gets made. You know, so like in the entertainment industry in general. So, but I think the thing that makes online content creation and commercials unfair is that unlike with a studio, like a TV channel or a TV studio, you don't get to pick appropriate commercials to air during your time. And you don't get to plan when those commercials happen either. They got rid of your ability to do that because some people would just be like, I choose none. You know what I mean? And I think that's the problem with it, is that I feel like you should be able to say I get none, but then you should also not expect to get paid for having none for that ad revenue. You know, looking at YouTube specifically. So, like, you know what I mean? Hello, friends. I'm your Vita Meta Vegemin girl. Are you tired, run down, listless? Do you poop out at parties? Are you unpopular? The answer to all your problems is in this little bottle. Vitameta Vegamin. Vitameta Vegamin contains vitamins, meat, vegetables, and minerals. Yes, with Vitameta Vegamin, you can spoon your way to health. I'd not hate commercials if they weren't so obviously obnoxious or advertising. Oh, 100%. Yeah. So like, so yeah, that's my thing with commercials. I feel like Twitch is not a good place for commercials. I actually don't mind the way they're doing commercials currently, though, where it doesn't actually stop the stream. They have a, oh, that was a deep voice redeem, but I'll take it. Oh, do you want me to, it didn't even pop up for me. Oh my, okay, yeah, you know what? I think I might need to readjust my multi-stream thing. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. I'm your Vitameta Vegamin girl. Are you tired, run down, listless? Do you poop out at parties? Are you unpopular? The answer to all your problems is in this little bottle. Vitameta Vegamin. Vitameta Vegamin contains vitamins, meat, vegetables, and minerals. Yes, with Vitameta Vegamin, you can spoon your way to health. There you go. I'm sorry. It did not pop up. For, it just popped up as regular text, so I need to rethink how my... I need to have this up. Also, thank you for the hydrate. I will do that. That was so good. Thank you. All right. But yeah, I actually don't mind how Twitch is doing it currently, where they have like the under banner or they play an ad in the corner. Although I feel like that's probably not working out well for them, considering they are like destroying their platform trying to make more money. But I think that's honestly Amazon doing that, making them do it. Cough, 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 the whole it does not count lurkers anymore thing. But yeah, with, like I said, with stuff like YouTube or Twitch or whatever, I think you should be allowed to like choose the categories of ads that you're okay with playing on your content. I think that should be required. And I think you should be able to dictate where the commercials go. And I think that if you choose none, I think you should have the ability to choose none, but I think it should affect your profit, which but makes it exactly like TV. You know what I mean? Because I think that is important for how things go in the future. Because, like, because obviously, then it gives the more incentive to get a wide range of ads. People can say no to the ads that everybody hates, even if they're paying a lot. So you can just be like, no scammy ads. Or as a good example, say you're doing ASMR content, you could be like, I want quiet ads. I want ads that will not be loud. If they have to play, I want ads that will be just as quiet as ASMR. And you could have a whole thing of ASMR ads. Like, that could just be a new category of ads on YouTube. You know what I mean? Because I will say that is like the worst thing of trying to sleep to like an ASMR video is sometimes it'll just be like, all right, I'm going to do blah, 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 blah. Just like, would you like to buy a brand new car? And I'm just like, no, don't do that to me. Please. Nothing wakes me up faster when I'm trying to sleep to a video. And that's like half the point of those kind of videos, you know? But yeah, like I said, back in the TV days, I didn't mind the commercials. They were sometimes kind of fun and entertaining, honestly. You know, I've bought things because I saw them on commercials and it made me want them. I mean, I think there is a place for commercials and ads, but the thing is that like you need to give the creators control of that, and you really should just have consequences for creators not doing it. You know, that's kind of what it should be, is it should just be like, and I think more of the consequences being on YouTube side of, yeah, you want to monetize your channel, you have to run ads. So you have to pick some categories of ads to play, and you have to put set commercial breaks in your videos if it is over a certain amount of time. And honestly, you know what I mean? So on and so forth. And I think that would just make the platform better as far as like ad revenue goes. But then again, what do I know? I feel like it would. Because like I said, I get the premise of why they were important. Because like I said, I know how TV works. I've watched, like, before I wanted to be a content creator online, I wanted to work in TV or in video games. But that's kind of both. Honestly, I kind of just wanted to do creative works. So I went out of my way to learn like how all this stuff works just forever ago. Anyway, that's just Cel's random rant on how they feel like ads should work online. But yeah, so yeah. But yeah, now they're not counting lurkers in Twitch anymore. So it's like a whole thing. And it's kind of a bummer. But apparently it's supposedly because if you're lurking, they don't think that you're actually watching. And if you're not actually watching, then you're not watching the ads, so that Twitch is not making money or whatever. And it's like, that is the thing that I am currently hearing. They use the premise of trying to fight bots to try to enforce more ad watching, because people have noticed that their views spike whenever ads play. So it's like a whole thing with that, apparently. And apparently the funniest part about that is that there's actually like proof that it doesn't actually help with the bots either. So it's just like a whole ongoing thing. Apparently, people who have botted have like reported, people who do bot have reported that it's actually not doing anything. Like their viewership is still up from bots. So to me, it's just like, just roll the whole thing back, please. Your thing didn't work. Please stop it. Like, yeah, the thing, the sad part is that like most bots are pretty much identical to a regular viewer. They're just on like a computer that can like spoof tons of IP addresses. And then they just have all these IP addresses make an account, which an account is free, and an email is free to make that account with. So you just make a ton of emails and a ton of accounts, and then you have a supercomputer that can spoof IP addresses, and then you just have a ton of people watching with all of that put together. So it doesn't do anything. Whoever got this through is too embarrassed and stubborn to admit they're an idiot. The thing is what I think is it's like corporal shenanigans. That's my thought on it. But that's probably enough like serious talk, I feel like. Hi, Supreme. Yeah, sorry I haven't been streaming as much lately. I want to fix that. It's been a rough month, honestly. Rough little while. Like mid-September till now even. It's been rough. Although, like I said, I'm really hoping that here on Monday, which I'm gonna say already or ahead of time, I'm not planning on streaming Monday. I delegated. But here on Monday, I am planning on hopefully sitting down and recording all of the rest of my videos and getting them edited and put out so that like ready to go. Oh, no worries. I wasn't thinking you were insulting me at all. Don't worry, Supreme. I would never think that. And even if you were, I wouldn't really care. But yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, that is the plan. We are gonna, so that's the plan. Monday, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna edit the rest of I'm gonna record and edit the rest of these. And from there, the only thing that'll prevent me is if I have Dadvion showing up to work on my car, which, yeah, that's gonna be a thing at some point. Honestly, I've been tempted to just drive my car over to his house and Uber home. Just be like, please work on this. Here's my keys. Here's my car. You said you would help. Please help. Here's my car. You have no excuses anymore. Oh, I have a belly button. Uh-oh. That is the wrong button. That is also the wrong button. Which button was this? There we go. Ha-ha. Yeah, no, I thought I did have a belly button. Funny enough, at one point, that was actually in my plans of, I don't think I should have a belly button because I'm a robot. I was made in a factory. Why would I have a belly button? But also, it just kind of got added, and I feel like the more I look at it, the more I'm like, it'd look weirder if I didn't have one. You know? But yeah, clothes back on. But yeah, no, I actually do have some toggles. I can do that and that. I like never do that though. I feel like this almost looks too naked for the most part. And yeah, I've done that one before. I've left that one off for periods of time. I always just forget about that one. It's kind of just a minor change. You know? But technically I can take even more off, but I've disabled that as a thing I can do. Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, no, technically there is a so I do have a nude base, but that's there's nothing on it. It's not like it's Barbie doll. Okay? But like I said, I've disabled that as a thing specifically because you're not ever supposed to see that ever. And it's mostly in case I want to get a new outfit made. Because that's the thing with getting new outfits for a model is that it's really, if you have your outfit baked into your model, then you have to have everything that is exposed by a new outfit redrawn underneath if you get a new outfit and want to reuse stuff. Or you need to get a whole new model from scratch. Ha 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 ha. No. Well, I mean, technically, like, canonically, it's multiple choice. It's whatever I want to install. I can go to my closet. Hello, 40. Welcome to an awkward conversation. So technically, like, canonically, it's all, like, swappable parts. It's whatever I want. All of it. You know, that's the beauty of being a robot, is that I can just be like, all right, canonically, if I wanted a bigger chest, I can just do that. I can just go swap a part out. It's that easy. Put a soft serve ice cream down there. Anyway, I'm just saying, canonically, that is how it goes. Cyberpunk 2077. Yeah. So yeah, canonically that, but like I said, I was just saying that is a part of the model that is there. It's just not the swappable part bits. I meant there is technically I could, whatever. You get the idea. I had a drill bit. Mine is the drill that will pierce the heavens. Believe in the cell that believes in you. You're in Logine. Oh my god. But yeah, funny enough, this all started with somebody asking me, this conversation started by somebody asking me if I had a belly button. But yeah, belly button, there you go. But yeah, like I said, I've been working on getting another outfit going. I have some ideas. Funny enough, this right here is probably closer to what I would want as a new outfit, but a little bit different. Than my current outfit. Actually, I have a question for y'all. So, if I was to get a summer outfit, which is the thing that I have been thinking about, would you prefer like a crop top and short shorts, or kind of reminiscent of my old Vroid? For anybody who saw my Vroid in the summer outfit, in its summer outfit, because I kind of like the idea of doing a throwback. Or would you rather I get like a sundress? Hold on. Let me see if I can find you guys a picture of my Vroid summer outfit. Actually, yeah, this is it. This is a good one. All right, hold on. So yeah, would you like something kind of like that? Although, I'll be honest, a little bit better, probably. Or would you rather, like a sundress? So scandalous with the exposed shoulders. Damn, free belly, like colorful summer. What? Looking respectful. Okay. The funny part is I did that, and now I'm like, I am barely covering any more skin. I am covering, like, an inch of stomach, an additional inch of stomach, and then one shoulder. Thought a Gyaru outfit. Also, summer dress is good too. All right, hold on. Like, so Gyaru outfit. Let's see here. In like a Gyaru outfits is interesting because I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that as an idea. Because I'm like, because I think something like that is Gyaru, and I'm like, I don't feel like that's my vibe. Honestly, I think that's one of those things that I think looks better on somebody else. Judged mine way more. Wait. You fine? Unironically, I was shy about showing bare shoulders or neckline for a long time. That's fair. Huh, interesting. But yeah, if you're talking like Gyaru, like this is the kind of vibe I was thinking. All right, Supreme. What other kind of vibes do I like? Because like I said, I had a whole idea for like a summer thing that I wanted to do. Part of it is I just wanted to bring forward all of my like favorite outfits from the Vroid and get them like a permanent sort of home. Because like I did work on making some of those outfits. So like I still like the idea of getting like my summer fit, like which it, like I said, was just crop top, short shorts, maybe add a sun hat and some sunglasses like I'm hanging out on a beach. Or I could do the same thing with like a sundress, which is sort of a different kind of a similar vibe, but different. Um, but yeah, like I said, that's sort of my idea, is some sort of like summer beach goer on holiday sort of outfit is kind of what I would get next as an outfit. But yeah, like either that or we bring back the maid dress. That is that would be the other idea, is we go full maid outfit. I guess that's another option. Although I feel like it's too soon for the maid outfit. I feel like the maid outfit needs to be saved for a more special occasion. You know, but yeah. But yeah, that's only if I was to get another outfit. Like I said, I've been trying to get a price check on that as an idea. Honestly, it might be a better idea for me to get pool stream and an excuse for a bikini. You see, the thing is that I would do like a proper swimsuit, but the concerns for that is that I would have to only play it or use it on very relevant games and backgrounds. I would need to get a background of a beach, and like backgrounds are so expensive. Like, believe it or not, getting a not pre-made background is almost as expensive as getting like a model. Or not a model, like the full model, but like getting the art for a model. Like, it is that bad. Like, they are more it's more expensive to get a background drawn than it is to get a character drawn. Green screen. Like I said, I could just put myself over a photorealistic beach. That'd be funny. But, you know, like I said, if I wanted to, like I already kind of don't like the fact that my background right now is pre-made. I paid like $15 for this. Anyone else can go pay $15 for this background, and then it's just available and you can just use it. And then like nothing about this background screams sell to me other than the color scheme. Because like this is the sort of color scheme vibe that I feel like I belong in. And with the, you know, stuff like the palm trees and the city in the background and all the purples and blues and stuff, this feels like something that I would naturally be in. But at the same time, like, if you look back there, that's not like a sci-fi city. That's like Los Angeles. I don't think that's actually Los Angeles either. I think that's like just a fake city. But that's the kind of vibe it's got. You know what I mean? So like one of the big things that I want, and I actually have it on Throne if you'd like to help me get it, is I really want to get custom backgrounds for both just chatting like this and for Celvionite, so it's a little bit more unique. But that's just, you know, I want it, but yeah. Personally, yeah. But yeah, no, I could just do kind of whatever. I guess I'm probably overthinking that kind of stuff. But oh. But yeah, speaking of Celvion, I have actually been kind of craving doing another Celvion lately. So, like, I know we kind of took our break from them in August, but I started the work on getting them turned into a podcast, and because I really like the idea of, because like I don't know about you guys, but when I listen to like those are like the most watched stream VODs for me, is like the kind of VODs that I would go back and watch for other streamers, is if they have like a little talk show or a just chatting, or they try to interview somebody or something like that, you know? That is, I watch those VODs. I will go back and watch them. And the thing is that I would love to be able to lock my phone while I'm watching those, because I like to listen to them, not even necessarily watch them sometimes. I like to just listen to them while I do stuff like clean my house. So, you know, like I said, I like the idea of having it all turned into like a podcast that I can have out and be like, here's the an official way for you to watch them if you would like. So I've been working on getting that going. And because of that, I've been like, ooh, I should probably start recording more of them. Or streaming some more of them. But we'll get back on the horse here pretty soon. I think for sure we'll be back to like regular streaming sometime after Twitch, probably after TwitchCon. It might just be a little bit weird for right now, because like I said, I need to get my car fixed and I need to finish prepping for TwitchCon. And you know what I think is the saddest part about this is that, like, in my attempts to get ready for TwitchCon, I have probably created less stuff. And the whole point of me trying to prep for TwitchCon was so that you guys didn't have too long of a break without me. And I've probably, in trying to prep for TwitchCon, have made a bigger break overall. You've probably gotten less Cell entirely in my attempts to keep you guys from having too long without Cell. Anyway, enough about that stuff. I'm like, fun conversations. But yeah. So yeah, we're still probably gonna continue on with some more Dino Crisis. Maybe not today. I didn't really feel like Dino Crisis today, if I'm being honest. Thus the, I don't know what's happening today. We're probably just gonna have a whole stream of just chatting, honestly. If I can at all help it. That's kind of the current plan. Maybe if we do play any games, I will play through maybe a demo or something. That might be kind of fun. I do have 2 demos downloaded. But yeah, boy. But yeah, actually, you know what? Do you want to know what game I was Let's Playing for TwitchCon? I don't think I really talked about it. I think I was kind of keeping it a secret. It doesn't really seem like a thing to keep as a secret, though. I recorded, I'm recording a Let's Play of Sucker for Love, which is like the Eldritch horror sim date game where you're like dating Cthulhu and stuff. So that is what I ended up recording. Eldritch horror. Yeah. Always you gotta always love good some Eldritch horror. I love I love some Call of Cthulhu stuff. You know, it's just fun. Like, I used to play Call of Cthulhu, the tabletop game. I'd be interested in hearing more about the Celvion lore. I will say Sucker for Love, I do think, does get the Eldritch horror aspect pretty right. Other than the fact that you're dating Eldritch horrors and they kind of goofy it up for that reason. Stuff like there is a lot of actually cosmic horror in it, because they're just like, oh yeah, no, when the date's over, I'm ending the world. You know that, right? Like, you're dying at the end of this. It's just, you know, You wanted a date for me traded your world for a date? Sure, we'll have a date, and then I'll end your world and you. But we can go on a date first, and I just think that that's fine. Eldritch horrors, more like eldritch hotties. Oh my, I feel that. Yeah. But yeah, you're interested in some Celvion lore? Okay, so if you want to hear more Celvion lore, I am wanting to get a lore video out. Part of the problem is that when it comes to the lore, I don't know where I want to start it at this point. So, like, I have some ideas, and but I keep getting wishy-washy on where I want to, like, leave my character at the start. You know, I could even just walk you guys through what the lore is. Like, so, essentially, I'm part of, I am member 31 of 38 of the Rainbow 38, which is a sort of Power Rangers / idol group. So, like, I guess the best explanation, actually comparison right now, is think K-pop Demon Hunters, kind of, but like Power Rangers, if that makes sense. And I am the teal one, and I'm 31st because that's how long it took them to get to teal. Or turquoise, I suppose. We don't really fight we kind of fight whatever. We're just sort of like I said, Power Rangers. It's not like, it's not necessarily, it's like aliens and evil robots and eldritch horrors and demons, sure, also, but like, it's not anything in particular that we fight. So the whole idea originally is, and I'll just tell you guys the lore, since, like I said, nothing is coming out of it. So the whole idea is, so we're the Rainbow 38. There is 38 other members, or 37 other members, because I'm also a member. So you, all of them are, the people who get the most attention though are the first, like 7 or 8. They're the ones who get the most attention. That's your red, blue, green, yellow, your red, blue, green, yellow, your pink, your black and white, your, you know, like your basic colors, right? Basically any color you would find in Power Rangers, those are the most popular ones for obvious reasons, right? But then they move on to some other colors. You have like your orange. Orange isn't very popular, but they're, or purple. Orange and purple, they are more popular than later colors, but they're kind of like whatever, right? And so on and so forth. You get your gray. You get like, but then you start getting some variant colors. You get like light blue. So you have blue, and then you have light blue, and then you have like dark green, because basic green is like light green. Here, I could show you. I made Vroids of all of the characters for a project that never really went off. They're kind of like placeholder designs. Because I have shown this before, I believe. Here you go. Ta-da! Here is some placeholder characters. Or actually, let's not use that one. Let's use the group shot one. That's a little bit better. Here we go. You have a handful of times now. Yeah. But yeah, so here, if you look here, we've got, you've got red, the leader up front. You have green, you have yellow, you have pink, you've got blue. Then you've got lavender, who is light purple, who is member 30, and their whole thing is them and me are twins. We're fraternal twins. I am girl modeled. They are boy modeled. Um, and then you have Beige, who is number 38, the newest member, Beige. Because, yeah, you know, Beige. Everyone gets at least one or two unique personality traits that are given. You can develop more because it's robots. But me and 30s, our whole personality thing is that we are twins. So yeah, so our whole thing is that we're twins, so we're pretty free reign as far as what our personality traits are. So like red is the leader, they're confident. Blue is kind of goofy. Pink is like the ultra feminine girl. She's like the she's the girl one. You know what I mean? She's very girl. World record number of twins. Yellow is supposed to be like the serious analytical one. Actually, hold on, wait. Oh. Yellow. Hello. Yeah, I am the analytical one. I think things through. I am very bookish. Yeah. I didn't expect it to break. I was told that yellow looks too similar to me, so I just made it a toggle because I can do that. But yeah, Beige's personality though is being boring. Yeah, they're just I don't know. I don't even have a voice in my head for them. Think like Norm Macdonald, not Norm. Did you ever watch Fairly Odd Parents? You know, like the Pixies from Fairly Odd Parents? That's like Beige. They're a Power Ranger, and their core personality trait is being boring. Green is shy, so on and so forth. Like I said, but the big thing is that the only other big lore thing is that lavender hasn't been seen in a while. That's why I wear lavender stuff, to sort of signify that I'm thinking of them. So you notice how my secondary color is lavender? Their secondary color is teal. But technically, we're technically supposed to be wearing all of the same color, but me and him have swapped. Or we supposedly have swapped. I don't know what Lavender's doing currently. What do you mean? I'm kidding. That's cosplay. So yeah, that is kind of the lore. And the part that I'm kind of stuck on with the lore is I don't know whether or not I want to have left myself the group, or how I want my relationship with the group to be. Because like I said, I like the backstory, but I need like a good jumping off point to start my lore from. If that makes sense. If I'm even gonna have them be a recurring thing. Also, there is one more character that is canonical, and that is Dijon. They are they're a higher number than me. They are in the 30s after 31, but below 38. And they are for if Cell's IRL younger brother wants to do something with them, because I have talked to them. We've talked about it, about getting them a model, and they would be Dijon if they could pick a color. I asked them to pick a color, and I'm like, since you're my younger brother, you should probably be a color that's more weird than teal. And they're like, Dijon. So, and I'm like, Dijon? He's like, yes, dark yellow. And I'm like, okay, yeah, Dijon would be a weird color. So they are Dijon. That is a weirder color than teal, but more usable for a team than beige, I think. So, perfect. So yeah, at some point, Dijon is gonna get a design, and they will be on a stream with me. They will probably be stuck as a PNG tuber, though. What are my idle superpowers? Well, I'm just a robot, but I can fly, I can shoot energy blasts, you know, typical robot superhero type stuff. Think Astro Boy, I guess. Astro Boy, Powerpuff Girl-y kind of stuff, you know what I mean? That kind of level. Yeah. You know, super strong, can fly, shoot lasers. At one point, like I said, I can, you know, like Dragon Ball Z blasty type hand lasers, stuff like that. I also believe canonically we have a giant robot that we can all go like merge into and be superheroes. You know, go Leo Pardon or whatever. That's the one from Spider-Man from the 1970s. So it's not actually called Leopardon, but I love the idea of having a giant robot. So at some point, maybe that could be a fun idea for a model if I am successful enough to get lots of new models, like actually get more models, is just giant robot. But yeah, just going off of current, that's a long time away if it ever happens. So we can just ignore that. Oh, no. I'm currently de-weaponized. So, originally in the lore, yeah, no, I don't have any attack toggles or anything to shoot lasers, sadly. Also, I'm in my studio that I'm paying money for. Duh. I can't destroy it any more than Syl already did in her second Celvion episode. But yeah. If you haven't seen that yet, you should go watch that. That was a really funny episode. But yeah, so yeah. That's kind of like the rough lore and powers. It's kind of been hard for me to actually like make like a lot of good decision, like a lot of like good canon with some stuff with that. It's just kind of hard to like settle on some things for like where I want the lore to start, where I think it would be like most fun to start, where would be easy to kick a story off from. Like I said, I really want to get a lore video made, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know where to start, kick that off from. Like okay, so the big question for me is, do I want to have quit or to like soft quit the team? Because like originally the whole idea was that I was going to have quit the team because being number 31 out of a 38 team where like I am not going to be a popular character. I never got attention. I kind of got directed into fighting cannon fodder. You know what I mean? Like, imagine Power Ranger, like, if you watch Power Rangers, you know that Yellow and Pink and some of the other Rangers, they don't get as much stuff, right? They don't do as many things. So the idea is you take that to the logical conclusion, and if you have more members, then the higher the number of member, like your member number whatever, past like 10, you are not even fighting the main guy. You're fighting henchmen and possibly losing. And you're mostly there to just make other people look good. So yeah, this would be my solo career, or my attempt to be a solo career. Yellow and pink were the Girl Rangers. Yes, and I get that. I'm just saying they didn't get to do as many cool storylines, if I remember right. To be fair, I have only watched a couple Power Rangers series, so I'm just kind of throwing this out there a little bit willy-nilly. You know, like I don't, you know what I mean? Don't quote me on this, but I know not all the characters were treated equally. I know that Red was the primary, like, plot character. They're the ones who, like, they're and then Green and / White Ranger, they had a whole thing where they had a lot of plot, but like some of the other characters didn't have as much story going on, and they didn't like have, like, you know what I mean? Green Ranger to White Ranger. Yeah, that's the first. That is the first Power Ranger show, Mighty Morphin. I never actually watched Mighty Morphin. I'm too young for that one. Well, I am partially too young for it. Like, it was going on when I was like a little kid, but like I didn't watch it. So I watched later Power Rangers. But like I said, not every single character got the same amount of attention throughout the entire series. So it just goes as it goes on, you know, like, you get what I'm saying though. But yeah, this is my attempt at a solo career. But part of me is like, do I want to have like quit? Or am I like soft quitting? Like, did I just like go lock myself in my room and stop going out when everyone else went out? You know? Or did I like quit and like run away from home at the Vion Corp headquarters? That is the question. And I have yet to actually decide on where I want that bit of lore, because that drastically changes where I can actually take any lore with future developments, I think. You know? So, but also I kind of love the idea of potentially eventually actually getting like other streamers to play other Rangers. Like, I watch like not even we're not even called Rangers, just other members. Like, imagine if I could actually get like Iron Mouse to play Pink or something like that, for even if it's just for like a lore video. How amazing would that be? Mighty Morphin was a good time. I had my NES, Power Rangers, and the Super Mario Bros. Animated series. Nice. The Power Rangers, the one I watched was... Hold on, let me pull up a list of Power Rangers series. Funny enough, though, Power Rangers wasn't actually the inspiration for any of my stuff, really. Like, I like Power Rangers, but believe it or not, my bigger inspiration was Kikaider, a different tokusatsu show. And then when I'm like, you know what, I want to do like this like robot superhero thing. And then I was like, you know what would be a fun backstory is like the being in a tokusatsu team that expanded too much for marketing by like a because like the whole idea is it's like a super like cyberpunk-esque like future company, right? And they made superheroes / idols. So we just do concerts and fight villains and run around the city and do, you know, be a superhero. And we do kind of both. But like, so that's like the idea. But then also, because they just kept adding more members to try to sell markets, to sell more merch, eventually, like, you stopped being important because there's too many members. Okay, the ones that I watched Wild Force, Dino Thunder, and SPD. When I was a little kid, they were playing Mighty Morphing. I remember that being a thing, or at least reruns of it. And then I'd never even heard of any of the ones between Mighty Morphing and Wild Force. And then I saw bits of Wild Force, Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder, SPD. Then I stopped watching it sometime after SPD. And I don't think I've watched a single other Power Rangers since. But I have thought about watching RPM specifically because they have a Scottish Power Ranger. Hi, Skia. Hello, Kimmin. How you doing? We were talking Cell lore, but also by that same metric Power Rangers, because they are weirdly related. So, doing okay. Glad to hear that you're doing all right. But yeah, no, why am I just reading the Power Rangers Wikipedia now? Close. Damn you, ADHD. But yeah, so like I said, not really sure where I want to like have the plot start, but like part of me also just kind of loves the idea of having lore videos where I can assign other people other colors and let them play other colors in my lore. I just kind of love the idea of doing that. Thank you for the care package. I will do that. Stretchy stretch. Posture check. There's many places that could start and go. Choice paralyzes. Yeah. So, like I said, I have ideas of stuff I want to do with the lore. It's just, oh, real quick, hydrate. Hi. But yeah, there's places I want to go with the lore. I have a bunch of ideas of little events and stuff I can do that are related to the lore. But the issue is, like I said, I need to start writing it and have it like, if I'm going to have it develop over time like everyone else does, I need to actually pick my exact starting point and put out some sort of basic intro to the lore, probably some kind of video, you know. And it's just, yeah. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it'd be better for me to just like lock myself in my room and be still a member, just for everyone to be like, and be still friends with like the main group? Or would you rather like have some sort of like Cell ran away and is doing their own thing as the plot instead? What do you guys think? Those are like the two options of where to start, and we can develop the lore can change from there. I just, like I said, that's the two big ones. A jaded evil villain arc. Funny that you mention that there is an idea for a sort of villain mode. There's your hint. But yeah, so that has been thought of. That was probably more than a hint. That was probably like that was probably just telling you, basically. But I had a whole idea for a whole thing with Lavender being evil. Part of the big thing though is that Lavender quit before me. That's the only thing that's constant. Oh no, it's Pal, Purple Sal. Do you want me to actually... Okay, do you guys care about actual spoilers? Well, are there spoilers if it's not set in stone? Kind of. You know what? So, okay, the current like static thing is Lavender is gone. It's up for debate. They didn't get replaced or got a new body built. They bailed. And not even Cell knows what happened to Lavender. So, and also so Cell goes by Cell because it's an acronym. So, but Lavender goes by Zero because they are C30. So C31, Cell, C30, Zero. Does that I think that's kind of cool sounding. But yeah, yeah, so that's the whole thing is Zero left. Not really sure what happened to Zero currently in the plot, but the current idea is that Zero is now a villain. They got really tired of being used by the corporation, by Vion Corp, so they bailed. But Vion Corp isn't all bad. The whole thing is Vion Corp is sort of like indifferent, but can be. It's just as much a, like I said, it's a company that made a team, like a superhero team of robots to protect the city as a free public service thing. They also made them sing and do whatever, but like for marketing to make money to fund themselves. But like it's like that is technically a good act, but they are still a mega corporation. So they're sort of in that morally gray area of a giant mega corporation in a sci-fi future, if that makes sense. So anyways, so Zero has left. Now the question is did Cell leave? And then wherever that answer is where we start the story of, if we're gonna have any story or lore. And that's where I'm kind of stuck, if that makes sense. So, but also I kind of feel like maybe I overthink even just the idea of having a story. Because, like, I love it. I loved my favorite thing with, like, the lore, with, like, VTuber lore, is I really loved that through just stuff like outfits and, you know, little lore videos, there's, like, a plot that develops. And that was, like, my favorite thing with some streamers, even though a lot of them have given up on that, probably because it gets expensive. But that is one of the big things that I've always, like, I was super into VTubing is just how do you feel about having a long form plot going on while also just having your daily dose of your fun little streamer? You know, like something about like having both of those, having that is just something that really appealed to me. It, you know, it's Adventure Time. That's what it makes me think of. Because like Adventure Time would be like, sometimes Adventure Time would be like just kind of wacky whatever. And sometimes plot happens and you're like, whoa. And that's the thing I liked about VTubers, is it's like that, but the wacky, like, the placeholders are just like playing video games and hanging out with friends. And then it's like, suddenly it's just like lore happened and you're like, whoa, wait. The hoagie is not, in fact, an antenna. It is just a hoagie. Or a hoagie. Not to be confused with an ahegao. Way too many people confuse hoagies and hoagie and ahegao. Don't look up that other word unless you want to, but you know, actually, you know what? Do it. I don't do it. I dare you. I'm kidding. I'm sure many of you probably already know that, but yeah, the cowlick. It's It's nothing. It's just character design. Oh. The hair one. I will sell you right now. The first one is my hair. Ahoge, hair. Ahegao is a lewd thing. So, there is your warning. It's not safe for work. That word. There is your warning. But yeah. But yeah, like I said, lore stuff. Like I said, I want to do something with lore. That's one of my favorite parts of VTubing, is that you can just have a plot going on in the background. But like I said, part of my problem is that like IRL Cell lives pretty much paycheck to paycheck, so any sort of big project that requires a lot of money is like such a, you know, hard thing for me to do. You know, and it's sad because like, did you know that it took me like 2 years to save up for the live 2D? It took me a long time to save up for this. Just to get like the live 2D, yeah. And I also got my live 2D for fairly cheap in the scheme of things. Oh gods, I've seen this face before. Yeah, there you go. I gave you a warning. But yeah, so like I said, optimally, I would love to do some more things. I want to do music. I want to take some singing lessons to be able to sing a little more femininely. I've talked about that recently. I think I talked about that yesterday even. That's a big thing I want to do. I want to do some music. I do really want to get another outfit because I plan my stuff around getting at least another outfit or two to be fairly cheap compared to other things. I want to get more art done. I want to do so many things. I just don't have money. You know, and I don't want to be like, please give Sal money at all either. Everything great costs so much money. Yeah. So and that includes the lore video. The lore video is expensive. Like, here, I'll pull up the one I was thinking about talking to. Hold on. Yeah, so lore video at the cheapest is probably looking at being around, I don't know, like $500-600 at the cheapest end of it. Because even when I was thinking of like, one of my ideas for how to make it cheaper was to use to make it as a comic. So you make it as a comic, you just ask them to give you a version of it without the text, so like, or the speech bubbles, and you do it webtoon style, so it's bigger pictures, and you can, you know, it wouldn't be that hard to take a comic and, you know, voice it with the text popping up on screen like a motion comic. I'm sure you've seen those dubbed over comics, and you could make a lore video pretty well that way. But then you also have to pay for music, even if it's just some background, whatever kind of music. But and then you need probably like some voice mixing and maybe some sound effects. Like, you know, you're gonna need to have like some footstep sounds and somebody to just do the audio for it. So you probably need to hire a professional editor, and like I said, on the cheap end, it'd still be like 600 bucks. And that is like all I make in a month that doesn't go to rent and utilities and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that's like a month of no food or going out or getting gas for my car, like for IRL cell. So, yeah. I kind of wish I had a roommate. Cell lives alone. If Cell had like a roommate even to just like half their utility and rent bills, I would have so many more things going on. Not that I'm like advertising saying like, oh, and you guys should come move into my house or something. They're just like, you know what I mean? I'm not meaning it like that. I'm just meaning like, man, if I had a roommate or something like that, I would be so much better off. But yeah, personally, something I would really love to do, like I said, is I would love to be able to get at least one artwork done a month. That is something that I would want to do. And you can get art for not that expensive. So like in a perfect world, Cell would have a new piece of commissioned artwork every month, at least one. I would be saving up for stuff like a new outfit or like the lore video, and I would have had some stuff like that happened. And I would be actively taking singing lessons to try to get ready for being able to release music. So that's stuff that I would want to do. But we sadly are just not in that current world. Today we should drink. Sure, I'll drink some more water. I'm still kind of bummed that I broke my fancy bottle of alcohol yesterday. Man, it still meant sad. I'll be honest, the only alcohol I have in my house right now is moonshine. And I'll be honest, I'm not drinking that. I'm not drinking that. Especially when I have work today. So I'm like, I'm not drinking any amount of moonshine on a day I have work. That is guaranteed. And also, I don't want to drink moonshine at all if I can help it, because that stuff is no good, as Sonic the Hedgehog would say. Smart move. Yeah, that is, yeah. It is like the most alcoholic alcohol I've ever had. It kind of tastes like a candle at this point, honestly, because I got strawberry moonshine. And at this point, it tastes more like how strawberries smell than it tastes like strawberry anymore, because I have had it for a while. But it's alcohol. It is like 80% alcohol, pure alcohol. So I can't, it's not like it's went bad. So yeah, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so like I said, no alcohol for Cell. Cell is pretty much, and also I'm not supposed to drink alcohol anyway. Alcohol is bad for me. I have a stomach condition. I've brought that up before. I have a stomach condition, which they have a cure for now. But I need to get some other things in my health to fix if I wanted to actually fix it. But they have a cure from, and also that's also expensive. The carbonated wheat juice. Did you notice your? Yes, I did follow your care package earlier, Shogi. Funny enough, though, I have talked to the friends about potentially doing a drunk stream before, like a drinking stream where we did something while drinking. It always ended up sort of not happening. But one of our ideas was, because I did that fishing stream, I was like, what if we just take like the shittiest fishing game we can find, and we all just get like one of those like online multiplayer ones, and we just get drunk and try to go fishing, because that's how you go fishing. You don't go fishing sober. If I've learned anything from my father, from Dad Vion, is fishing is not a thing one does sober. And I just thought it'd be really funny, just be like, do not read the instructions. go get a beer or a Four Loko. We're going fishing. Everyone drinks Four Loko and tries to go fishing. I don't know. That's just like a funny idea to me. Oh, if I'm an android, who is my father? So I've just been referring to them as Dad Vion when I want to refer to IRL dad, but I used to refer to them as my designer and my engineer. The engineer being Mom Vion and the designer being Dad Vion. But honestly, that was harder to maintain, if I'm being honest. So the person who drew the blueprints and the person who built the robot, if that makes sense. But yeah, yeah, but that is the idea. But yeah, like I said, I try not to drink if I can help it. The engineer did all the work. Exactly. Or maybe it should be better be programmer and engineer, maybe, or something like that. I don't know. However you want to think of it. Like I said, it was hard to maintain that as the thing, so it's Mom Vion and Dad Vion. If I was to have, for any reason, ever have them on stream, I would have them be scientists, human scientists. They don't get to be robots. But yeah. But yeah, so but yeah, that was an idea for that. Like I said, I can't stream. Instead, if Cell does any sort of party mode, they usually go for they usually do the other thing people in the United States do that's similar to alcohol but is not legal in every place. The jazz cabbage, as they might say in the trendy neighborhoods. You need to get special models for them. That'd be fun and great. Yeah. I talked about that before with potentially having my younger brother Dijon on. Like me and him have actually talked about it, getting him like a PNG tuber model. It's been legal in my state since 2013. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Yes, the green Canadian cigarette. Yeah, Canadian cigarettes. No, I don't actually. Anyway, I don't even do it that way, for the record. But moving on. That is what I do instead. Just because, like I said, I have a stomach condition. I can't drink alcohol. Alcohol makes me in pain. So alcohol. The funny part is that I do like alcohol in drinking. So I just try to keep it to a minimum. Like, it's a special occasion thing. Like I said, I think I talked about this yesterday, but I'll talk about it again today. I actually went to make a tiki bar in my house because I got geeky tiki mugs gifted to me. Well, I bought one, and then people started gifting them to me, and then they jumped up in price from $8 to $40. So then I stopped collecting them, and they kept putting out more and more and more. And yeah. Mocktails and virgin daiquiris are good though, G. Yeah, they are. I will say I do like a any sort. I think we should make mixed drinks more normal. I like mixed drinks. I like you don't have to put alcohol in them for to be good. You could just mix some fruit juices and make like fancy punch and stuff. It's good. That's technically what some of the popular things that are sold other places are. Like, have you ever thought about the fact that like, you know, the pink drink from Starbucks is literally just a mocktail. You know, it doesn't even have caffeine in it. It's just the stuff they put, it's just they mix a couple fruit juices and some coconut milk and some other stuff like that. And now you have a drink. And it's just like, that's just a mocktail. Like there's so many things that are, you know what? Most Arizona iced tea flavors are just a mocktail. It's a bunch of things and fruit juices mixed together. I think Hawaiian Punch is technically a mocktail. Like I said, normalize people just mixing stuff together and drinking it. You could make some cool flavors just by mixing stuff. I don't think that works for soda though, but you know what? So you can mix some sodas together and have mocktails in a sense too also. Every Thanksgiving at grandma's, we'd have this special punch, Hawaiian Punch, 7-Up, vanilla ice cream, raspberry ice cream. That sounds awesome. But also, I feel like the ice cream would, I don't know how I feel about the ice cream, actually. Do you just pour Hawaiian Punch mixed with 7-Up over ice cream like a float? Or do you, like, melt vanilla ice cream and raspberry ice cream into a drink in, like, a big punch bowl, and then you take spoonfuls of that, like, you know, like, cups of that? Because, like, one sounds more appealing to me than the other. I think I need to go tone down the stream elements. God dang, I'm looking at this and it's every other message. Yeah, I'm gonna write a note for that. I'm like, need to adjust timers for those. Oh. My little notepad I keep on my desk for notes is still covered in codes from Dino Crisis 1. Just Steam element or stream elements. Whatever, I'll know what it means. Timers. Yeah, I will tone that down after today. My bad. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so but yeah, like I said, I tried to make a I have all the bunch of stuff to make a tiki bar, and I kind of gave up on it being a tiki bar in my house just because. But at one point, I was actually had a conversation with somebody. They're like, you can't drink alcohol, but except for like occasionally, right? And I'm like, yeah. And then they were like, you're the best person to have like a home bar then, because you wouldn't drink it. You wouldn't have to constantly buy it. You could just have it stocked all the time for everything except for like juice. You could just have all the alcohols on hand for on the off chance that you have a party. And then you have a party and you are prepared with a fully stocked bar, and you could just be that cool person on the off chance you ever have people over for like a party type get together. And I'm like, wait, yeah, I actually wouldn't drink it very often at all. It would all just be like, you could just have like a full on, you know, tiki bar if I had the stuff for it. And like I said, I started buying stuff for it at one point in time forever ago. And then I've stopped since, but I think about that sometimes and I'm just like, put out all my geeky tiki mugs and have a whole tiki party. Maybe if I lived somewhere where I had a lot of IRL, like a lot of friends able to like come over IRL. I can't keep mimosa supplies near me. They're too good. That's fair. But yeah, like I said, that is a thing that I have genuinely thought about. I don't know why, but I love the idea of a tiki bar. I know a lot of people don't like tiki stuff. They think it's really tacky, I guess, or I don't know. Just sort of, I just maybe I watched too many shows that romanticized like going to a tropical island and drinking the tiki drinks and whatever. But like that just seems like such a fun vibe to me. Like Hawaiian shirt, sit on a beach, drinking a Mai Tai. You know what I mean? Big tiki island heads and stuff, you know? Yeah. That just seems like a nice vibe to me. Funny enough, though, there's a whole thing with tiki culture where it's like kind of like a mixture of so much of Polynesia that it's like also kind of not really any of it. There's a whole bunch of interesting stuff about that because it's uh like I said, it's such a established weird kind of subculture that's still around. And it's debatable if it's actually like, oh, like there's a whole bunch of discussion over whether it's okay because it's not really like exoticizing the concept of a region without technically using anything real in any way disrespectfully, kind of. You know what I mean? It's like a weird sort of gray area, all of it. It's super easy to just read about. Or at least I thought it was. But you know, that's you know, I'm not everybody. If people decided it was problematic, I'd probably if it had a consensus that it was problematic, I'd probably drop liking it. You know, I don't know. I always grew so IRL Cell grew up in the mountains, so in a place where summer lasts maybe 2 months, or at least it used to last like 2 or 3 months at most. And then you don't have a spring and you only kind of have a fall. You have a very short autumn slash fall. So like the idea of like a tropical island or like super fancy whatever, like, you know, like tropical island, you know, that just seems so exotic and fun and refreshing to me. But the funny part is that I've been places that are hot and they are not that at all to me. It's like, I'm outside and I feel like death. It's too hot. So it's one of those things that it's just like that's the funny part about like going to a beach or like taking an island vacation to me is like I don't imagine temperature when I look at that. I'm like, it's warm. So my brain jumps to it's gonna be like mountain summer. And it's not mountain summer where it's okay to just be outside all day. You don't even need to wear sunscreen a lot of the time. You know, it's cool, but not like, you know what I mean? It's too hot. Hot damn. The police and the fireman, they're too hot. Hot damn. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. Anyway, but yeah, you go there and it's like hot and it's humid, and you go to the beach and it's not exactly, you know, you watch people on TV go to the beach and it seems like such a good time, and then you actually go to the beach and it's like kind of boring. At least it was boring when I went to the beach. I went to the beach and everyone's like, you cannot swim in the beach. This is the ocean. You swim out. You swim. If you get to a point where it is not, if you go out to the point where you can't stand up, it is now dangerous and you will die. You will get taken away by the undertow and never be seen again in the ocean. You don't do that here. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? And the ocean I went to, the ocean was ice cold and everything outside of the ocean was insanely hot. So then it was just like, oh, this is unpleasant. And then there was just like people with dogs and children everywhere, and people weren't cleaning up after their dogs and stuff. And There was seaweed and dead jellyfish and stuff everywhere, and you're just like, ugh. Like, the beach is not as nice as it seems like on TV. But sometimes, I try to still hold on to, like, my romanticization of the beach. The beach on TV is a lie. Oh, yeah, it is. 100%. It is just, it's not nearly as nice as it seems like on TV. Of course, the reason why it seems so nice on TV is because it's not actually filmed on a beach. It's filmed in a studio lot in front of a green screen with like the most picturesque ocean they could ever find as the backdrop playing on a loop, and their whole set being like sand on a stage. You know, that's the reason why it looks nice, is because they're not actually there. But yeah, no, like every time I've gone to the beach, it's just, and I've only been once. I've only ever been to a beach once. And like I said, it was not nice. I mean, it was kind of nice, but also kind of wasn't. Like, there was so many things that were just like ugly and unpleasant about it. And it was so this is disillusioning. Like, you know. But then again, I went to a West Coast beach. So, West Coast United States beach. I'm not going to say anything more than that. So, I was told that apparently the West Coast, the ocean's cold. And if I went to, like, the Caribbean or Hawaii, that the ocean would be warm, like room temperature. And I guess that makes sense. That might be nicer. And people would be more prone to actually hanging out at the beach. So if more people are hanging out at the beach, they are more likely to actually like take care of the beach. So I mean, like, I didn't even go to like California. I'll just tell you, it's not California. It was in like Oregon or Washington. It was in that area where I went to the beach, and it was kind of nice, but it was just like I said, it wasn't taken care of. It wasn't the way it seemed on TV. It was kind of just, oh god, you know, it was very sketch. It wasn't like as nice as you think it is on TV, and that was like such a bummer because like I said, I grew up in the middle of like the mountains, so like, you know, like that's why Super Mario Sunshine's my favorite Mario game, is because like I just imagined so much, just like, yeah, let's gonna go sit on a beach and watch the ocean and drink a fruity drink at the the lodge cabin thing. Like I just imagined like all beaches are like a Hawaiian resort, I guess. Oh, did you ice skate? No. I did not ice skate as a kid. Never did any sports really. Ice skating is terrifying. I don't know about, okay, so the thing about ice skating and rollerblading is that everything about it feels like it just wants to snap your ankle. Like if you lose your balance at all, it's just like snap. It's broken because of angles. And so like I tried rollerblading a few times as a kid, but ice skating was like one of those things that's just, my area just didn't do. I never do it dancing on knives. Also, my balance is bad. Like if I was going to do a sport that requires a lot of balance like that, I would have taken up skateboarding. Never learned how to skateboard. My balance is too bad. I don't have a very good sense of balance. I'll just be honest. Hated ice skating, not because it was hard, but because the shoes were so damn uncomfortable to wear. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, like I said, if I was to take up a sport, I would do like skateboarding or maybe rollerblading way before ice skating. One of those kind of sports. But I didn't even go snowboarding or skiing really as a kid. I think I went a couple times. I liked sledding a lot more, where you just go take a ski lift to a top of a mountain, take a path that's not the same as, or it's either on the edge of, or that's not the same as the snowboarding people, snowboarding, skateboard, or skiing people, and then you just go down on a sled much faster. That's way more fun for me. But yeah, yeah, never did any winter sports, never really did any summer sports. I was not a sporty person. The only thing I did do that was sporty was I did martial arts. I did a bunch of taekwondo. I was, yeah, so I was like the third or fourth belt in taekwondo. Funny enough though, I actually always was super, I always thought taekwondo was kind of lame though, because it wasn't karate or kung fu. Not because I just never heard anything about taekwondo. When I was a kid, I was like, I guess I'll do taekwondo. It's my only option. But literally, like it's, and I did that through elementary school and then again in high school. And like I said, it was just because taekwondo wasn't really a thing in like media. Like I would have been way like and that's, to me that's sad, because now I think it's a lot more cool. But it's, you know what I mean? It's, and I appreciate it more, but at the time I didn't appreciate it. But yeah, I wanted to do, when I was younger, I wanted to do like, I would have been more excited about karate, Muay Thai, or Kung Fu. But none of those things were options. My area only had Taekwondo. I've actually genuinely thought about doing Muay Thai, because there's a Muay Thai gym not that far from where I live. Like I could walk there. And I've thought about signing up for their adult class and getting really into Muay Thai. But I did not do that. Or judo. Judo was another one that I really thought was cool. Or, okay, actually, the thing that I would have been the most into that is not an option anywhere I lived, but technically is an option now, is I would have killed to do kendo so much. Like, that would have been, like, the, like, coolest thing ever for me. Kendo. Just straight up, not kendo my friend, but kendo the sport that kendo is named after. But yeah, with the swords, I would have been so hype. But yeah, although in my case, my parents wanted me to do karate to try to help with bullying. I didn't like it much either after the first couple years. That's fair. Like I said, though, I am a big fan of martial arts. I just don't do them anymore. I would love to do something like that. Yeah, like my childhood was stuff like I did archery. I did do archery a lot, like sport archery even. But also as like a D&D nerd, I did a lot of trick shot medieval archery. Like I actually learned how to do accurate like volley archery. That was a fun thing to do. Where essentially you put targets over at the edge of your range on the ground and you try to shoot up to make it land on the target with other people at the same time. That's cool. That one was for a like a whole thing. That's not even a sport. That's just a random thing I did. And honestly, like if you were to go by if you were Isekai, what would your skill be? Like what class would you be? I would probably be an archer. I'd be like a ranger. Not because of any actual interest in being a ranger necessarily, but like I'm not like a pet, like I don't have pets or anything like that, but just because that is the one like actual medieval weapon I probably am the actually kind of skilled with is archery. So didn't even get to do cool stuff like break wooden boards or perform Mortal Kombat style fatalities. Welcome home, Decaf. But yeah, I'd be a calculator, a class from fun. Yo, that's awesome. Oh my god. No, I want to be a mediator. Okay, actually, I've been joking for a while that like, okay, they've added all the classes to Final Fantasy 14 from Final Fantasy 3. Now they need to take it up the next level and start adding all the classes from Tactics. They need to start adding all of the weird classes from Tactics, like Calculator or what were some of the other ones? No, they added Astrologer. Mediator is my favorite one, but that's because they're the ones that can recruit monsters. Hold on, Tactics classes. I would love to get the new Tactics game, but I feel like that one's not a very streamy game. A mime? They could add mime or time mage or oh, they're actually not that far off, really. They're really just missing calculator, oracle, mime. I think that's it, actually. I'm looking at this list. And no, geomancer, time mage. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. That's the one I would be excited about. But also, but that's part of the problem is that, like I said, I'm not sure how well that would go over as a streaming game. It doesn't feel very streamy. I mean, I can go check. It came out recently. I mean, are people watching it on stream? Are people? Oh, it's not doing too bad. Okay, maybe then. I do really want that game. Soldier. I forgot that I always forget that they added Cloud. They added Cloud and Balthier from 12. Wait, did they add somebody new to the so the first version of Tactics they added Cloud as a secret character. Then in the first re-release of it, they added Balthier. Okay. And Balthier from 12, because 12 and Tactics takes place in the same year. Or not year, same world. But did they add another character for this new remake? Another guest character? Or did they just keep Balthier? Because Balthier makes sense as the like the character, as the guest. He makes more sense than Cloud does. Like Final Fantasy Tactics guest characters. Cloud. Okay. No, they didn't. It's still Balthier. Oh, that's lame. Wait, oh. Yeah, that's sad. I'm like, I was so excited at the possibility of like, who else could they add? Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's a shame. Wait, hold on. Maybe if I specifically Ivalice Chronicles. Maybe. Oh no, wait. They brought both Cloud and Balthier for the remake. Ah, okay, cool. All right. You know what? I'm more happy about that one then. All right. At least they brought Cloud back. So, yeah, Cloud was in the original one too. Yes. But in the original remake on PSP, they got rid of Cloud. Cloud was no longer the character. Like the guest character. Instead, they had Balthier from 12, which does make sense if you think about it, because Balthier, like I said, Balthier in 12 takes place in the same universe. Or Tactics and 12s take place in the same universe. But in the new game, they have both Balthier and Cloud. So that's just best of both worlds. The new remake is just the better game. It's just like, oh, okay, cool. So, I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. I actually have a replica of Cloud's sword on, like, of the Buster sword from Final Fantasy VII on my wall. Like, I can turn my head slightly and see it. Is the best translation and best. But like, Balthier was the best character from 12, so like, I'm happy about Balthier making it in. 12 is a very underrated Final Fantasy game. Cause like, yeah. Bustin' makes me feel good. Yeah. Fun fact, I've actually never watched Ghostbusters. Cloud was my 11-year-old crush. You know, it's valid. Very valid. I get it. 100%. I have, in fact, I do. Cloud is very attractive. I am with you. God, Final Fantasy VII had a lot of attractive characters, though. Pretty much everybody. Like, most of the party members in 7 are just all attractive. Yeah. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII was like my favorite game. It was one of like my childhood games. I watched my older brother play it. I played it a bunch myself. I was obsessed with that game, having not ever gotten that far as a kid until when I was much older. Except for one, of course. Maybe more than one are not attractive, but still the majority. I am curious as to who you're thinking. Yeah. Yuffie? So Kate Sith is fine, huh? So Kate Sith is attractive to you, huh? Huh? The cat. If you said Yuffie is the only one who is unattractive, then there is a certain... Hold on. There are two characters I need to go ahead and question you on real quick. All right, are you ready for this? So you have Red 13. So Red 13's attractive to you. Got it. Also, Red 13 is the equivalent in his race of being like 16 also. Just throwing that out there. Like, sure, he's like 300, but... And Kate Sith. So you're also saying Kate Sith is attractive. Kate Sith. The cat on top of the on top of the Moogle robot. This is a major character in Final Fantasy VII. You know what? Fair enough, I guess. Sure, guys. Never seen this man's in my life. He's Scottish in the remake. Yeah, no, he is a major character. I can't believe you do not know Kate Sith. I am. This is not a bit. They're a major character in Final Fantasy VII. Look at that. Major Final Fantasy VII character. This has got to be edited. No, it's not. They're so out of place. They are a major character. I promise. I am not gaslighting you. Oh my god. Oh my god. But yeah, Kate Sith. But yeah, he is a fortune teller. He predicts a bunch of stuff in the games. He follows you around. He had all of it. He only has 2 limit breaks, one of which is a slot machine, the other which is he rolled dice, and he can insta kill pretty much anybody with his limit breaks because of that. Because I believe 3 6s and instant victory. You just win whatever the fight is. Yeah. He, do you guys care if I just spoil Final Fantasy VII? That game came out before I was born, even. So, I mean... like, the main plot... You know, do you care? Seeing God of Mischief who can, in theory, kill everyone he pleases in one move? Yeah. And it's just a cat. Yeah. But it's not just a cat. It's a, Fine, I'm gonna spoil Final Fantasy VII. Please step away for a moment if you do not want spoilers for Final Fantasy VII. But please come back, because I will miss you. So, in Final Fantasy VII, there's a man named Reeve. He's one of the top people from Shinra. He is actually Shinra's head of urban development and planning. That's why he is a good guy, is because he is somewhat of a good guy, because his job is actually kind of trying to develop the city, and he has to interact with people and does like stuff like that, right? So anyway, he has a special materia that allows him to possess robots or dolls or whatever. Okay, so the whole thing is that he uses his materia to pilot Kate Sith, but Kate Sith is also a robot, so Kate Sith sometimes will just follow Cloud and them around, and he pilots them with his materia, trying to help Cloud and them, but eventually Shinra finds out, causes him to betray you, and all this stuff, and eventually Kate Sith, like, there's a whole thing with Kate Sith coming back out later, and it's he tells you everything about what's going on, and he comes back to start helping you again, and for real this time, with because he is like bailed on Shinra, kind of. and he tells you about how he was kind of forced to do it because he got found out that he was helping you by Shinra. Does that make sense? So that is the whole plot point in Final Fantasy VII. But the thing is most people do not keep Kate Sith in their party, so most people kind of forget Kate Sith was there. That Kate Sith is pretty forgettable outside of that. But yeah, that was a major plot point in the original game. Like a major plot point. So yeah, plushy robot cat did stuff. I loved Kate Sith though. He was so cute. He was really cute. And a member that they just completely forgot about on the book planet. I don't remember that episode. So honestly, the funny part is I think people would remember Kate Sith more if Kate Sith didn't come back immediately after the betrayal. Especially since also Yuffie betrays you. So it's just like, you have two characters who betray you, and one is significantly more memorable than the other. You know what I mean? And, like, one has less of a plot line to, like, bring them back. So, like, one of them just shows back up, and you're like, oh, hey, welcome back. What was going on with all that? Betrayal's nonsense. And then the other one is just like, you have to do a whole storyline to get her back. So, hey, I hate to do this, but I have to do a quick BRB. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I loved Yuffie. She had an ability to just throw money at your enemy. Oh yeah, I remember that. Also, the episode, speaking of, came out last year for... Oh, okay. Interesting. I have not been keeping up with Futurama, I'll be honest, because I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same to me. It's kind of like trying to watch New Simpsons. All the characters sound so much older that it's just like, please just stop the show. Like, we don't need to keep going on. And, you know, yeah, like, I think, yeah. And, like, yeah, I hate to be that person, though, to be like, yeah, no, you're too old to keep doing The Simpsons anymore. But I'm also like, man, March sounds rough. And that's kind of the case with, like, Fry. Fry sounds really rough to me. Now, like, I think he's fine for other characters, but I think, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just kind of... Sometimes when certain characters get certain voices from certain people and then they get older, you can, like, start to hear it. And I'm not saying, like, you get what I'm saying, though, right? Like, I feel like that's the sign you should end your show, is when your voices stop being consistent. And actually, the thing is that, like, if you look at Marge, apparently her voice actress has actually played some other roles recently. And apparently, if you compare her now, you can tell that, like, her doing the Marge voice has taken a toll on her. Because her basic voice sounds kind of like Marge now. Also, just suspend disbelief and roll with it, I guess. That's fair. Like, I wish I could do that more. Maybe it's because I rewatched old Futurama more recently. Because Futurama, of those, like, of that kind, of those animated adult sitcom-y type shows or whatever, Futurama was my favorite. Futurama is the best one. You know, so, like, maybe it's just because it was my favorite that I'm like, you know, but, yeah, I think shows should, I feel like that's, like, the problem with American shows a lot of the time, is that, like, because of the status quo, they don't, like, age. You can't take them on forever. Because eventually it'll be weird when, what if the kids start sounding old? We need more adult animation like Heavy Metal. I 100% agree that we need more adult animation. Like Heavy Metal, I don't, so I've seen that. I have seen both Heavy Metal movies, and I did enjoy that. I don't know if I would say I want more stuff like that, though. Weirdly enough, I kind of want more anime. Like, more stuff like anime. I would kill for the West to develop, like, a plot-oriented adult animation, like, system. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people to start making adult animation that's, like, plot-oriented in America. Do you not have Crunchyroll? No, I have Crunchyroll. I kind of want to... Part of me almost thinks I should get rid of that one, too. That's another, they are apparently going to be, like, I can't remember what the news was. Crunchyroll was doing something that was going to mess them up, too. Oh, wait, I know. They're firing all of their dubbers. They're, the people who go through and actually make the subtitles. They're going to do subtitles with AI now. And so a lot of people are quitting Crunchyroll also. Isekai plot. I've actually been watching the vending machine anime. The funny part is that the vending machine anime isn't that bad, but it's very confused, I think, because sometimes it does weird things. But the vending machine anime isn't that bad. It's not the worst isekai I've watched, I will say, which is shocking to say the least. But yeah, I will give you isekai plots of like part of the problem with anime is it's become too formulaic, and there's no, a lot of people are writing stuff just to potentially make something famous, not to everyone, it's like trend chasing. Everyone's trying to write something that will just make them money, I think, without being creative. No one's trying to make a statement. They're making, how did I have it put to me? So this is kind of the problem with a lot of Western stuff also. Essentially, what started off as like authorship and like creating something, and you develop a thing and you base it off of like others types of stories and a lot of real world influences and so on and so forth, kind of like that, right? And instead it's like it's there, a lot of people are making anime based with their only source of reference for other types of storytelling being other anime. And then there's also people who, there's a lot of people who are just trying to like phone stuff in to try to make something popular to get published that they may or may not kind of care about. You know what I mean? And so then you have a lot of anime that's kind of just, not even just anime, manga, really, and light novels that are sort of just churned out specifically to like try to get an anime made and stuff like that without really saying anything. That doesn't have a message. It doesn't have you know what I mean? And that's like the big problem is that like if you're not if it's too hi Damien, 21 cabbage. But yeah, that's the thing is that like if you're too in the weeds of like, yo, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Celvion Legion. I hope you have a cell of a time. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But yeah, that's the thing is that if you're too in the weeds about like anime, anime based stuff, well, you're not like saying anything. You're just trying to make something for the sake of making something. Then it kind of ends up like being slop. It kind of ends up being slop a little bit. It's junk food. It's not actually like, you're not saying, you know what I mean? And that is really profoundly noticeable in Japan with manga and light novels, because they churn out the kind of stuff that they churn out is a lot of stuff like isekai, stuff that really appeals to people who are, working like 20 or like 16 hours a day jobs, 100 hours a week jobs or whatever, and their free time is reading a manga on the bus or a light novel or on the train or whatever, right? And that's appealing to the people who just like, yeah, one of these days I'm gonna get hit by a bus and I'll get to do everything I've dreamed of and be the ultimate person and blah, blah. Like that kind of stuff sells well there because of their like circumstances. And so people churn out a lot of that kind of content. There's like a whole thing about that. Like I've watched a bunch of videos about how it's sort of it's all sort of like connected in that way. And that's kind of the case over here with some stuff also. But like I said, I just want animation to be taken seriously in the West. And I think to do that, you need to start animating stuff like Game of Thrones. You need to start picking like popular, like maybe try animating a novel instead of making it live action as the adaptation. Something like that would be, like how you would do it, I think. If that makes sense. But I do think that we are kind of headed that direction. I think that stuff like Has Been Hotel and The Amazing Digital Circus being so popular is actually doing a lot for adult animation. being taken a little bit more seriously. And yes, The Amazing Digital Circus is an adult animation. I mean, Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss obviously are, but you know, Amazing Digital Circus is considered one. So, but yeah, you know, it's yeah. Why? I was an Android Power Ranger idol, but I ran away and became a Twitch streamer instead. The series. 21 Cabbage. But yeah, like I said, animation. Like I said, I want more story-based animation from the West. I think the only studio that's really doing that is kind of Netflix. But like I said, they just kind of do anime adaptations, like they did the Castlevania and the Devil May Cry and I think Tomb Raider. But also, I don't pay for Netflix, so I don't know. You know, Netflix is one of those things that I only pay for when it actively has a show that I like coming out. Like, I come in for like a single show or two, and then I stop. Because like sometimes, like, I will say it is worth it to me to pay for like Dungeon Meshi. It was worth it to me for that because I was a big fan of Dungeon Meshi. And then there was something else that came out at the same time as Dungeon Meshi that I wanted to watch on Netflix. But when both of those shows ended, I was kind of like, okay, whatever then. And I dropped it. And because I finished those shows. And then it was like, well, you know, and I watched other stuff on Netflix when I had it. It's just, you know, what is it worth paying that money for? And Dungeon Meshi, one of the first light novels I actually, or not light novels, manga I ever read all the way through, like on my own, that I loved so much, that one was worth it to me. But then, like, you know, what is like the newest Netflix anime? Netflix original anime. Just curious about this. Like, yeah, something like Pacific Rim, the anime, or yeah, I don't know. Just a lot of these other ones are like, to me. I can find other ways to watch it. Agretsuko! I loved Agretsuko. Actually, that's another one. Yeah, they really cracked down on password sharing too. Because, yeah, that's actually a thing I used to do with my immediate family. Like my siblings and my parents. Like, we would all take up a streaming service, and we'd each pay for one and share it with all the others. And now, I don't think any of us pay for any of them. Like, if we pay for one, we pay for one for I think we all do the thing that I'm talking about, where you hear about a show that you really want to watch, and then you just do that, and you don't do any of the other ones. You know? So, interesting how that works, really. But yeah, you know, yeah. Piracy with extra steps. Pretty much, I guess. I don't know. Honestly, I feel like, I know it's probably not the correct approach, but I think I like the way, you know, hold on. How do I rephrase it? A quote I really love is by Gabe Newell of Steam, where it says piracy isn't a crime issue, isn't a criminal issue, it's a supply issue. If you make it too inconvenient for people to use, or, you know, if you do not make it you should make your service easier than pirating. That's how you prevent piracy. You don't prevent piracy by trying to crack down on piracy or whatever, or you need to make it easier to use and make it more convenient to not pirate things. That's how you prevent piracy, because people naturally want to use the official source. You need to make it convenient. You need to not raise prices beyond like the going rate. You need to, yeah, Netflix was easier than piracy for a long time. Then everybody else started doing things, and then Netflix started trying to crack down to save. That was their problem. What they really should have done is they should have picked up more shows. They should have tried to partner with some studios. Heck, you know what Netflix could have done that would have been really good, in my opinion, is they could have taken like Paramount Plus or something and been like, hey, can we get like, how about a deal where people can get Paramount Plus on Netflix, like merged together for a discounted rate, where like they could pay a little bit higher to have Paramount Plus merged with Netflix, as an example. And I'm just using Paramount Plus as a random example. That was just the first one I thought of. They could have done some stuff like that. It wouldn't have been good, but like it would have been more convenient than just losing out on those like libraries entirely. And, you know, it would have made more sense as a way to increase profits than to whatever. But, you know, that's just how it is. Stuff just happened. Currently, my preferred streaming service is actually Amazon Prime. But that's, the funny part is it's not because Amazon Prime is good. Because it's not that it's like, it's not bad either. It's very like middle of the road, if I'm being honest. But the fact that it comes with, like the 2-day delivery for, they're like the cheap delivery for Amazon, and it also gives me a sub for Twitch. Just the combination of those three things makes it worth it. It's just, now it's worth it. It's like there's other stuff bundled in together, and so it's just like I would have had an Amazon Prime account even without having the Amazon Prime TV stuff. The TV stuff is kind of just bonus. So because I have it, because I already had the other thing, you know, now I watch a lot of it. And Amazon Prime has a lot of interesting shows on it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe they're not the best always with originals, although they have some really good originals like The Boys and Invincible and Fallout. And they also have our Secret Level and so on and so forth. The Dead Cells anime, or the cartoon. Did you know Dead Cells, the game, had a cartoon on Amazon Prime? Like, I didn't even think that got advertised anywhere. All of the old Rooster Teeth stuff is on there. So on and so forth. I could go on. But, you know, they have a bunch of weird, obscure stuff that I find really interesting. Like, I watched the original, like, Weird Al the Weird Al movie, the UHF, where he gets a TV where, like, Weird Al is just some dude at a gas station who, because of his uncle, gets given a TV, like a local TV station, and turns it into like a weird, fun, goofy thing. Like, I watched that, and I would never have watched that if it wasn't on Amazon Prime, where I already had it. So, I mean, like, they got some good stuff on there. And a lot of it's like interesting older stuff or etc., you know. But enough advertising. God, what am I doing? Advertising things without getting a paycheck? Ugh. Anyway. Yeah, but yeah, it's a thing. I do need to read more manga in general. I tell myself that all the time. I need to read more comics or just read more in general. I don't know how people find time for a lot of that stuff. That's right. We don't need to be giving Jeff Bezos even more money. Technically, all money on Twitch he gets a chunk of. So, I mean, like, everyone subscribe. Yeah, everyone subscribe to Celvion. Give Jeff Bezos more. No, preferably. Well, I mean, I get that too. So, you know, do it anyway. Anyway, yeah. Apparently Scooby-Doo is coming to Fortnite. I think that's kind of exciting and interesting. I didn't like Scooby-Doo growing up, though, if I'm being honest. I know Scooby-Doo is really popular. I was not a Scooby-Doo kid. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something to talk about now. Play. So, yeah, I hit the point in the just chatting stream where I start losing like conversation, like my brain stops like automatically generating conversation. But yeah, I actually did watch the have watched the Reincarnated as a Vending Machine. That anime it's okay. Like I said, it's not amazing. Like what did I rate the first one? You can do exclamation point MAL if you want to see the anime that I watch and are watching. It's confirmed for a third season. Yeah, I mean, in for a penny, in for a dollar. I'm watching the second season right now. That's the anime I'm about to finish. So I guess we'll just go ahead and say we'll watch that one also. But what did I rate the first one? I rated it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, if I remember right, I gave it extra bonus points because I was so shocked that I enjoyed it. I'm like, oh, I didn't expect this. Why is this kind of fun? Because I wanted to watch it because I thought it would be bad, and then it wasn't bad, and then I'm like, oh. You know what I mean? But season 2 has not been anywhere near as good as season 1. Season 1 was pretty good. Season 2, I'll give you an example. I just finished episode 10, and we're 2 episodes away from the end of the season, and they decided to have like a random ass fashion show subplot going on for no reason, and it was just like, why? But yeah, no, I like isekai sometimes. Like I really liked Minogra, Apocalypse Bringer Minogra. That was like my favorite anime of this season. I loved that one or last season. That one was like super good. Honestly, wait, can I sort my things by isekai? No, I cannot. Never mind. But yeah, no, I've liked some isekai. I really enjoyed Overlord. I really liked Minogra, which is kind of just like Overlord, but I did not watch Solo Leveling. Okay, this is something that I found really interesting about anime for me lately. Is I don't watch anything that's popular. Like, hold on. Let's go. Anime. Seasonal anime. What is sort by popularity? Give me like 2 seconds. I will sort by score. Okay. So going off of last season, I did not watch. Maybe I should hold on. Hold on. Let's just do this, and then I could go boop. Come on. All right. And then let's just pull it up. Why not? Okay. I will say there is a small chance there might be some ads on this, so sorry in advance. Okay, so anime. I did not watch Kaoru Hana. I did not watch Grand Blue. I did not watch Dr. Stone, although I did like Dr. Stone. I have not watched any of Don or Call of the Night. Oh, or My Dress Up Darling, or any of the Rascal anime. I didn't watch this. I didn't watch City, although I did like Nichijou. I didn't watch any of this row. I didn't watch any of this row. Or this one. I watched this. I watched Milky Subway, and then I didn't watch these two. I watched the Yuri Harem anime. Didn't watch Karaoke or this one with You in the Rain. Didn't watch any of this row. Didn't watch any of this row. I watched Outcast Restaurant. This one was really good. Didn't watch this row. Didn't watch this row. Then I started watching Game Exchange because it sounded cute, but I got like 2 episodes in and didn't really continue it. And then I loved Apocalypse Bringer Minogra. And then I watched this, like the Izaka, the vending machine one. But like, and then I really liked this one, but a lot of people didn't like Necronomicon. But like I said, I skipped out on everything popular to watch the 6 out of 10s. I didn't watch any of like the 8 or 9 out of 10 anime. I didn't watch any of the popular anime. I watched like the 6 out of 10s. That in like, if I go back other seasons, that is still like the trend here. Like, I'm just gonna scroll down until I get to something I watched. I'm not gonna. Oh wait, I did watch this one. Okay, so this one. Okay, this one was a cute show. It's only on the 3rd row. I did watch this, and I didn't think it was very good. I gave it a 6. The thing is that like sometimes when I sit and look at like what's airing, I'm like, I don't know. Like a lot of it doesn't sound so basic to me, kind of, I guess. This one was my pick for like the best anime. Sorry, you guys can't see my mouse. I just realized. Here, this one, the one that has the thing. I'm the evil overlord of an intergalactic empire. That was like my anime of spring, and I loved it. I gave it a 9 out of 10, and it's got a 7. Like, I don't like anything that's popular, apparently. I am not attracted to whatever's popular. So, this season, ooh, I'll have to watch that one. Yeah, like I said, if you pop onto my anime list, here, I'll even just do the thing. If you are remotely interested. Dang it. Hold on. If you want to look at my profile on here, I actually maintain it because I don't know. I started doing it when I was in an anime club in college, and now it's just easier to keep it going than not. And it's nice. It's convenient for if I want to just show people what I've watched. But yeah, boy. Like I said, if I was to look at this season, I would immediately skip over this one. This just doesn't seem interesting to me. This one doesn't jump out at me either, but reading its description sounds kind of interesting. I would skip this one also. Unusually delicious body that is irresistible to nearby monsters. That's what? Okay, wait. This one might be a cute cooking show. I love cooking anime. That's always my favorite. This one seems like a cooking anime. Like, I don't even know what I would like. I'm interested in this season. Like, what jumps out to me? And this is still sorted by popularity. This one's about a robot trying to integrate into a family. I would watch that one. This is Gintama. I would watch it, but I need to go watch Gintama. I would get caught up on My Hero. I like My Hero. This vampire can't suck right. Oh my god, that does not sound appropriate. Anyway. Yeah, no, like I said, looking at a lot of these Digimon, new Digimon, I would watch that actually. But yeah, like I said, I look at a lot of these and I'm just like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Nothing like not a lot jumps out at me necessarily. And the ones that do jump out at me, I'm positive are not going to be the ones that are popular. I have not. Sometimes hilariously illegal. That's kind of funny. Yeah, no, the most recent, boy. Oh, I am gonna watch this. I love the campfire cooking in another world. That's actually a really good cooking anime. This one's also an isekai, but this, you know what? Like, I like it for the anime food, not for the plot. Here, hold on. We'll if you want to see the My Hero shows I've watched, My Hero. Wait. All right, so I got as far as season 5. I have not watched past season 5. I know I'm a couple seasons behind on My Hero. But yeah, like I said, if you guys want to check that out, there is a link to that. You can just go. You can just go look at it. I keep it up to date. I even put things that are maybe a touch suspicious on there occasionally. That was really loud lightning. Oh no, it's gonna rain today. Oh well. But yeah, like I said, I keep that all up to date if anybody is interested in actually like looking at it. Feel free, and honestly, if I think if you guys are interested, I think it is a great way to keep up to date on Cell stuff, just because like if it's just a good way to know like what I'm watching and try to like, if you want to talk to me about it, if you're also watching it or whatever. Anyway, I think I have to wrap up stream now because it's about time for me to get to work. I started stream sadly a little bit too late again, but I'm gonna try to tune everything back up together so that we're not, like I said, I want to get back to regular amount of streaming. I feel like we haven't been doing streaming the way I am really happy about in a while. So, anyways, with that being said, I think I will raid out and we will wish you guys a wonderful night. So, good stream. Yeah, we did a whole just chatting stream. I'm just gonna raid you guys to Pokey. I don't think I've raided Pokey in a minute. But yeah, so with all that being said, I hope you all had a cell of a night. If you enjoyed the show and you haven't yet, please give a follow. It really helps with the algorithm and my self-esteem. If you would like to join the Discord and just keep up to date on all things Cell, you can do so here. I do try to respond to stuff in the Discord regularly, so even if I don't actively like come in and wish people good morning, please feel free to say stuff. I will react to anything you post in there, or I will try to. Check out our social media. I am posting stuff regularly on, or semi-regularly on TikTok. And if you're going to be here, if you would like to watch the stuff that I prepared for while I'm away for TwitchCon, that you can watch our Let's Plays on the YouTube channel, where we also cross-stream. Just saying, in case, because Twitch is kind of being a bit weird. It might be a good idea to follow me there, just in case. Anyway, we have a merch store. You can get merch there. We have a Patreon that's mostly empty, honestly. We have, but there's going to be stuff there eventually. We've got, use code Celvion10 at checkout for advanced GG. And I think that's it. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.